Episode 63, season 2 of the Third Attempt Podcast. It's now live. What's going on, everyone? I'm Nate, joined as always by my guy, Brian Germanar. We hope you guys are having a great Thursday. We're past 2 weeks we've done one episode a week,
One episode a week. Yeah. Thursday episodes. Best day of the week is Thursday. So
that's true. Because one day before Friday, I cannot wait till Friday. I ain't gonna lie. I have after Friday, I have 3 days off in the span of 4 days. So I'm off Saturday. I work Sunday, but I'm off Monday, Tuesday.
Can't beat that.
Yeah, I cannot beat that at all. Shout out to my guy who needed his shift switched, and it's like, I can take your Saturday. I'm like, okay, thank God, because I never get weekends off. But that's how the sports fantasy sports companies work.
So the industry works. You work weekends.
Sports does not stop on the weekends, no matter how dead it is in the sports world. I'll tell you that. But how about you, buddy? How's everything with you?
I'm doing great. Baseball's back. Juan Soto's hit a home run in his first at bat. Like, it's amazing.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Let's start with that real quick because I saw I was on Twitter and I saw Juan Soto hit a home run. I'm like, oh my God, I know Brian said something. And as soon as I looked up above the tweet above it, you retweeted it and then you said you're gonna be watching that all day. Did you watch that?
I watched that video probably 50 times.
Okay, good. Man, you honestly, this is the excitement I had for Luka. I don't think it compares to you when it comes to Juan Soto because it's
a whole different level. It's Juan Soto. It's Juan Soto. That's all I keep saying.
I feel you, man. I really do. So hopefully he continues his success, and not hopefully, because honestly, you want to rest him as much as possible. Just get him some at bats to keep him fresh. Keep him.
Spring training. Spring training's fun for the first week because baseball's back. Like if you live in the Northeast like I do, the weather's kind of crappy right now. Like it reached 50 for the first time since November this week, so that we're all celebrating. But like it's the first, okay, spring is coming, and then after the first week, the nuance goes off, and like you don't recognize anyone playing. It's just like, okay, just give me an opening day, and don't let anyone get hurt. Like Gunnar Henderson left the game today with an injury for the Orioles. That's a big loss for the Orioles.
Is it long? Do we know if it's serious?
He left with a trainer. That's the only thing we know.
Okay, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. And speaking of baseball, we will be announcing some news for our future episodes. I know usually me and Brian, or I'm the one who plans out the episodes like a week before, a day before, and then I let Brian know the night before. But we have a schedule that we will release to you guys once the show is over. So, but today we do have a few topics to discuss. As you can tell by the title, we'll be starting our draft preview series with the signal callers, the quarterbacks, the most important position in the football world. So we'll be discussing our rankings for that, giving our thoughts on how we rank our quarterbacks, some guys that you should be focusing on, and so on and so forth. We'll also talk about the Luka revenge game, his first revenge game against the Dallas Mavericks real quick, and some other NBA news as well that we need to get into a little bit. And then finally, we'll end the show back in the NFL with the Giants, who are quarterbackless. I've seen multiple tweets where it's like the Giants do not have a quarterback sign on the roster. Then someone tweets out, "Oh, we have Tommy DeVito," and then when I saw that, I was like, "I was going to slam my foot against the damn wall." Because
I saw one with someone when the Giants have a quarterback on the roster, and someone goes, "I think the Giants just improved their quarterback room immensely." I'm like, I love that.
Hey, honestly, last year was a mess at quarterback, and thankfully Drew Lock is he's not signed, and then so it's just DeVito basically.
I think DeVito's like an RFA or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's a free agent, but like not at the same time.
Yeah, so we really don't have anyone at all.
No one's signed, but like DeVito is in the organization. He's just like not signed.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we'll bring him back unless something happens. So we'll be signing a veteran and another veteran, and then draft a rookie. Who knows? We'll see. We'll talk about it at the end because I'm glad we're in the headlines for the draft, but
I'm not. I don't want to be in the headlines for the draft.
I just want April to come.
If you're in the headlines excited for the draft, you failed as a franchise. You failed.
Yeah, 3 straight years of top 10 picks. No, 2 straight years of top 10 picks because the first year of Joe Sheen,
it was 23
with Deontay Banks and whatever the case may be.
Actually, it was 24. We traded up to 23.
Oh yeah, huh?
We trade up one spot with the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars were going to pick Deontay, or someone was trying to try to pick Deontay, and we're like, no, we're going to do it.
It's crazy. We jumped for a guy who may
We
not even...
jumped for DeAndre. Oh God.
Actually, I saw something the other day too about how the one year we could have got Micah Parsons, and I guess Micah was like, yeah, the Giants promised they would get me, and they didn't, and that's why he hates the Giants and stuff.
That was run by Dave Gettleman, all right? That's Dave Gettleman's fault. Dave
Yeah, I
Gettleman
want. We could have got Micah Parsons. Like, I get that
yeah.
the Eagles jumped the Cowboys or whatever, or yeah, they got Devontae Smith.
That's what Giants wanted. That was the pick at 11. That's where we were. 11.
Yeah,
that was the pick was Smith, and because Gettleman's such an idiot, the entire league knew we were picking Devontae Smith, and the Eagles were like, "Watch this."
And then Dallas, got Parsons.
Jerry Jones like that would be hilarious. Yes.
I can't believe we dropped all the way down, bro, to get freaking Tony.
Darius Tony. What a horrible.
Who's in jail? He's arrested.
He's in jail.
I swear, dude. We just...
Oh my God. I remember the reporter went to jail, and I sent it to my college group chat because like we all just like talking NFL and stuff, and I'm like, can Kadarius Toney do anything right?
Apparently, freaking not, because dude he is a mess right now, dude.
Yeah.
He is. Whew. But hey, he's off our hands. He's won a Super Bowl. He hasn't been
our problem in years. It's great.
Thank God, dude. I was so excited for him. That's the thing.
I was too. I saw him as I'm like, this guy has the skill set to be like a Tyreek Hill-esque receiver. They're just because he's short and just can build off that speed, he can be explosive.
Mm-hmm.
He just, is an idiot.
Yeah. So it's okay. He's gone. He went to the Chiefs and the Browns, and he won a Super Bowl with the Browns. I mean, the Chiefs. But...
The Chiefs. Whoa. Browns won the Super Bowl?
imagine the Browns won the Super Bowl in this decade. Matter of fact, in this
century.
It's a century. Probably not gonna happen, honestly, unless they draft.
They signed they signed Deshaun Watson. They deserve everything coming for them. They're no longer lovable losers.
They let go of the one guy that made them winners and replaced them with a massage weirdo / injury prone, overpaid guy.
And no, we're not talking about Justin Tucker.
Thank you very much. All righty. Well, is there
going to be a guy that's ever had such a fall from grace like Justin Tucker? I feel like every NFL fan loved Justin Tucker like 3 months ago, and now everyone hates him because he's an idiot.
He went from the best kicker in the NFL.
And he was declining this year. Don't get me wrong. He did not have a good season this year.
He was bad. I think his field goal percentages were like in the 80s, which you think it's good, but for kickers, you gotta be in like the high 80s, like 88, 89, 90s, if anything like that. Nah, dude fell off real quick.
Yeah. So if you're the Ravens, like now's your perfect chance to cut him. Just be like, nope, done.
Yeah, but then they're like,
but think about it. It's a kicker he's already regressing, but like you didn't want to cut him because he was such a fan favorite. Now he's in the negative eye. So if you cut him now, it's like, all right, we want to separate ourselves from the whole situation. We're getting out of it now.
True. Who would they sign?
I'm not sure what his contract is. I'm pretty sure there's some dead cap and stuff. It's probably not as easy just cutting him.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it's such an easy time to move on from him.
It's like it was not easy to move on from before we move on to the NFL stuff. The Four Nations thing. Okay, I will say, dude, that game.
Freaking McDavid. Ugh. That's Crosby's golden goal 2.0. That's our generation's version of that goal.
That hurt, bro.
Yeah, it did.
What was it? I will say a few things, and I want to get obviously get your thoughts on the Four Nations tournament as a whole. That game made me want to get into hockey even more.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. But
it's exciting.
I missed the first period because I was working, but I tuned in from the second period on. It was so exciting. And in overtime when I think it was Austin Matthews like firing shots and the goalie kept saving it. I was like, dude, are we gonna fucking get a goal in? And then McDavid hit I was typing something out here. Goal! I'm like, what happened? I look up and I saw Canada celebrating. I was like,
yeah, no, I just collapsed when that happened. I just collapsed. I'm like, no way. Absolutely no way. I'm reliving 2010 right now.
because they kept saying like, "Oh, the last time Canada beat the U.S. Or whatever it was in 2010 when Crosby hit that
The
golden
Crosby
goal,"
goal, yeah.
and I was just like,
There's absolutely no way there's no way the 23-year-old me is reliving the pain that the 9-year-old me went through. No way.
flashbacks, PTSD, all the things. But it was, I think, to me, obviously one heck of a tournament. Best idea they could
It's
have
a
came
home
up
run.
with.
Absolute home run by the NHL with this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, never bring back All-Star Weekend ever again. Just let the guys play for their country, and they will show out. But your thoughts on this and everything. It just hurts, man. 3-2 loss.
It hurts. It hurts. It hurts because we were right there and we fought hard. We beat Canada already, and we were so banged up. Like if Charlie McAvoy's playing in that game, if the Chuck brothers are like healthy, we win that game. Because they played. Brady and Matthew both played, but they're both on the injured reserve right now for their teams. And I think Matthews is done for the year, and I think Brady's very unlikely to come back this year.
Oh no!
And McAvoy looks like he's done for the year too.
And they all got hurt during the tournament.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that will kind of scare people off?
No, because see, the reason why the NHL players don't play in the Olympics anymore is because of this. Players were getting hurt over there, and the NHLPA hated that. Like they want to play for their country. So it's such an unpopular opinion that the league won't do it again. They'll just kind of have to deal with it.
Just pray that everyone stays healthy throughout.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things where just like you can't take this away from the players. The players like it too much. Now the players were indifferent about it. I can see them be like, yeah, we're kind of done with this. But since there's such a love of playing for their country and playing best on best hockey, it's not gonna be affected.
Okay, yeah. I like it. Honestly, I really hope they keep it and everything. And
I think they'll keep it. I just don't think they'll make it an every year thing. I think because next year's the Olympics. I think just do the Olympics. That's your All-Star weekend's the Olympics, and then in 2027 you can bring it back. But then 2028 is the World Cup of hockey. Just do that.
Ooh.
And that's going to be a bunch of teams. That's going to be the four that competed: Germany, Switzerland, Czechoslovakia, a few more Eastern European countries, possibly Russia. I don't know. It depends on what's going on with the war. But yeah, no, that's be way more exciting.
Yeah. NFL.
It might not be a popular opinion, but Russia's got to play. I'm sorry. I want Russia to play next year in the Olympics. I want to watch the best play the best.
Who was one of the weak ones in this year's Four Nations? It was
the weak ones was probably Finland or Sweden. I bet you one. Yeah. It'd probably be Finland be swapped out for Russia.
Yeah, I was thinking that because Finland wasn't doing so well in the tournament when I was looking at the standings.
Yeah,
they were.
They were the fifth largest country with hockey players. It's America, Canada, and then Russia.
So the fourth country is just like a fill-in, just to make it.
It's like well, we could bite the bullet and put Russia in and face a bad PR, or we can just do this and have fun.
Obviously they opted for the latter. So
yeah.
We'll see. We shall see. But yes, want to get some hockey stuff out of the way. Great tournament, and excited to have the NHL regular season back. And I'll definitely be watching the games for sure. It's just super exciting.
They'll get more excited when the playoffs come around. They'll get like that level. Yeah, the 4 levels intensity you'll get in the playoffs.
It's gonna be fun time. So, 7-game series.
I've always said, like, the people that want to get into hockey, I'm like, you have to wait until the playoffs. That will get you into hockey. Then you can watch the regular season.
Kind of like, I'm gonna say, no, not really like college basketball, huh? Because college basketball.
No, basketball's the same way. I would say college basketball's the same way. Okay. You have to watch the tournaments, and then you'll get into the sport itself.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Honestly, no, I don't think anyone watches the regular season unless you're like a diehard college basketball fan.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'll watch UConn games here and there, but it's because I like grew up in Connecticut, so like it's just like that was UConn was Connecticut's team. Like when UConn was going on those runs in like 2014, we used to have like UConn trivia every morning before school. Like the prince would be like, this UConn basketball player did this while both teams were making their runs. I'm like, okay, this is cool. UConn always has, I know I went to like a Division I school, but UConn always has like that special place in my heart because of like the childhood memories with it.
Heck yeah. They're not doing so well this year, are they?
No, they've been weird. Like they've looked like the
Mm,
national championships at certain points, and at other points they just struggled. So they'll make the tournament probably as like a 9 seed, win the first game, then get crushed by number 1 seed.
Lakers dodged a bullet. Almost signed that coach, Dan Hurley. We got to go in with J.J. Redick. So,
I mean, when you
all
have
right.
LeBron and Luka, it doesn't really matter who the coach is. I could coach them, and we probably still win 50 games.
I will say I love Redick. We'll talk about Lakers and later on in the show, but I love J.J. Redick. Hell of a coach. Definitely coach.
He's a good coach, but the fact that people were thinking he's to be coach of the year is absolutely ridiculous.
I think he's done. I think he's done a. I mean,
look, I think he's done a good job, but not coach of the year good. I think it's better options.
Who do you think there's?
Cleveland?
Well, no. True. Okay, we'll see. We'll save it for later. I was like, I don't want to go too off topic. Oh, I forgot to because we'll be talking Luka stuff later, so I'll mix in that stuff with the coach of the year. But all right, well, draft season.
Let's do it.
Here we go. The quarterback, the most important position in football. And this year's class has been criticized a lot. A lot of people are saying
sucks.
It's not the strongest class in the world, but sometimes these guys, they hear these things and it just creates motivation for them to prove y'all wrong. Personally, we have a top 5 list, I assume. All right, Brian, and I have one.
I have top 5. I mean, I did 8 quarterbacks, but yeah.
Well, thank you. Shit. Well, making me look bad. I only did 5 in honorable mentions. So, but yeah, so we'll give our list out. We'll give a short explanation to what we like and dislike about the quarterback, and we will go from there. So, Brian, you have 8 of them, so we'll start with you. Just go from 8 to 1.
8 to 1.
Okay. And go from there, my guy. Let's see what your quarterback list looks like for this year.
I'm sorry, I have 7.
7.
So, okay, in 7 is Jalen Milroe. I just do not like him as a quarterback. I think he's could be a very explosive quarterback. Big plays down the field with his arm. He's very good athletic, but he just can't do the simple stuff. Like, he's not good in the short passing game, the medium passing game. And that's like stuff that you need to be good at if you're going to be an NFL quarterback. You can't win every single play with your arm. You just can't. Like, his athleticism, he could be like an exciting quarterback, but not a guy I'm building my franchise around. After him, I have Will Howard. Again, good arm strength, sneaky athletic. He's got some good footwork, but he's inconsistent throwing motion at times. He's also 24 years old. I know that's young in terms of people age, but in prospect years, that's a little old. You kind of cap. There's kind of like a feeling around the league that you cap out on growing at 27. So if he's already having these bad struggles, you only have 3 good years to develop. How much are you going to develop in those 3 years? So it's kind of hard. Can I think he'd be good? Yes, but I think he's got too many factors working against him. Number 5, call me biased all you want. It's Riley Leonard. Now, sure, I watched every start of Riley Leonard at Notre Dame. He has what I think. He's got great athleticism. He has a good deep ball, and he has the perfect personality of a quarterback. The problem is he plays hero ball far too often, which leads to bonehead plays, i.e., the interception late in that Orange Bowl game against Penn State, where I thought he threw I thought he threw the game away at that point because I'm like, oh my God, there's no way you're making that throw. He gets stuck on first reach, which is a problem I had with Daniel Jones. He'll just stare down that receiver, and it drives me up a freaking wall. Just look around. And then his mechanics are a nightmare. So that's why I've been writing about him all week too, because of the combine coming up. I'm like, he needs to have a strong combine, and I really think he could jump into that early 4th, late 3rd, as someone could just take a shot at him as a project quarterback, sit him for a year or two, kind of do the Aaron Rodgers, the Packers method, where they sit behind a star quarterback and then go in. If the Rams are going to hold on to Matthew Stafford, I think that'd be a perfect spot for him. Learn behind Stafford for 2 years. Stafford retires, and then he goes into the McVay system. I think he would thrive there. After him, so I got Will Howard. I got Quinn Ewers. I think he's probably the guy that's fallen the most in this draft class. I think at one point he was, the first overall pick. Same thing with, Carson Beck, even though Carson Beck is now in Miami with his girlfriend, got his car stolen. That's a whole different thing. But hey, Quinn Ewers, very good between 10 to 20-yard passes, can do well in really hostile environments. He had his best games on the road this year, so that makes me think in tough NFL environments, he won't let the pressure get to him. Also come back after adversity. That Georgia game was brutal. Came back the next week, had a very big week. But there again lies the problem of he's not very consistent. He's, not mobile. So, once he gets hit, he's going down. He forces too many throws, and he's had some injury history. Like, don't forget, last season, he missed a couple games with an arm injury. I think he missed a game this year with an injury. He's been banged up in the past. That's really hurt him. At number 3, this is kind of where it goes chalky. I had Jackson Dart. I think that's kind of everyone's number 3 right now. Great time on medium throws. Just a natural athlete. Great pocket presence. Good at throwing the ball even when he's getting hit. And thrives in like those up-tempo offenses. But that also lies a problem because since the tempo has been up pace, it's kind of masked a lot of problems he has. Like he kind of bails on clean pockets. He, occasionally will stare down the receiver, which is a big thing for me. I see him as like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of thing, where it's just like, which guy are we getting this week? Are we going to get like the guy that could be the NFL starting quarterback, or are we going to look like the undrafted free agent? Which guy are we getting this week? And I think if he sits behind a quarterback for a year, I think he can get that. I mean, in all honesty, I don't think it's a quarterback that can start day one in this class. I really don't. I think all of them would benefit from sitting on the bench. Maybe the number 1 guy could be decent, but I don't think he'd be good. Anyway, number 2, I have Shadeur Sanders, probably the most popular guy in this draft, not named Travis Hunter, I would say. He's great, short, medium guy. Got a lot of swagger to him, which is, something that you kind of want in a quarterback now. Good with touchdowns, interceptions, can make adjustments at the line, good through progressions, mobility to get him out of tough situations. The problem is he overconfident at some point with the arm? And that's going to hurt him because in college, you have big windows to throw to. In the NFL, they're a lot smaller. So, you throw a bad pass that might work in college, that's not going to work in the NFL where that window is 10 times smaller than it once was. He took a lot of sacks in 2024 too, which is concerning. He plays hero ball a lot too and like drifts backwards in the pocket instead of going forward. You go backwards, it affects your deep ball. And he's so immature at times, like getting to the fight with the Texas Tech ball boy. Like, I know that's not really a big deal when you're in Colorado, but if you go to a big market, like you go to Boston, you go to New York, you go to Dallas, you go to San Francisco, you go to Los Angeles, that's going to be page 1 story. It's going to be all over the media. That's all they're going to talk about. So will those distractions and the fact that he's Deion's son and like is pronounced his next great gift, is that going to affect him? Number 1, I have Cam Ward. Great ball velocity, good at improvising and extending plays. He's got ice in his veins. Like, how many times did he lead a comeback drive this year for Miami? I think Miami led the league in comeback drives this year. Can use his legs when needed, but he's got a lot of problems that Daniel Jones had. Bad ball security, can't really read complex defenses, and is horrific at throwing that ball deep. So that's who I got. Just to recap, it's Cam Ward at 1, Shadeur Sanders 2, Jackson Dart 3, Quinn Ewers 4, Riley Leonard 5, Will Howard 6, and Jalen Milroe 7.
Okay, I like that. Well, I will say it's fun when we have differing opinions on certain things because my list does not look. It does look similar-ish.
Yeah.
But I will say great rankings, good explanations, all the things. Wow, Leonard that high, huh?
I got Leonard. I really just think he could go to the right system. He has the right attitude that a team will fall in love with him. And if he could just work on throwing the football, he'd be good.
Because that's all there is. That's all there was to him. Was just
throwing issues. It's throwing, and he's got some injury problems. But like everyone kind of has that. It's throwing the football is his main thing. He's a great athlete. He's a great leader. He's got the right mentality to be the quarterback. It's just, can you throw the football like an NFL quarterback?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'll get your opinion on this guy later on. But
Yeah.
So for me, 6 guys. The 6 guy I just put as honorable mention, and to me that's Dylan Gabriel. Hawaiian quarterback, played at UCF, Oklahoma, then obviously played at Oregon. 6 foot guy, had over 3,800 passing yards last year. To me, I love him. Quick release, has good mechanics. He's very efficient when he plays quarterback. A lot of experience, excelled in multiple systems during his time in college. Leadership qualities have been there. Taking command of 3 different locker rooms. That's pretty impressive to say the least.
Yeah.
Had 30 tutties last year, 6 picks, 86.4 QBO, which is third best in the nation. Like this guy, the only thing or the biggest thing about him that will turn a lot of teams off despite his production is his size. Like I said, 6 foot, 200. Small. Yeah, undersized, small hands, not super athletic. He can sling it though. He can sling it. But honestly, it's just the size is like the biggest weakness for me. And I shouldn't be saying much because I'm pretty short myself, but right. From an NFL standpoint,
you're not trying to be an NFL quarterback.
Exactly. From an NFL standpoint, exactly. From an NFL standpoint, not the best thing to have when you're 6 foot, 200 pounds.
Yeah.
I think Kyler Murray, right? Because when even though he was drafted #1 overall, there's a lot of question marks about him with his size and everything like that. And
Drew Brees had a lot of questions about him. He was 6 foot.
Yeah. So, and we're not saying he's going to be Drew Brees, Gabriel is, but
no.
Don't
get me wrong.
No, sir. There's other concerns with Gabriel, but the size is the biggest issue. So, but yeah, small hands. He does struggle over the middle. That was kind of a big concern as well this past season. So, honestly, if he's going to have any success early in his career or as he develops, he just needs something to me that like a quick game concept because he has great processing speed. His release is I just mentioned a quick release. If he's in a system where they can work behind that or work with that processing speed and the whole release thing early, I think he can be successful early in his career. But he's a guy that just can't start day one. Honestly,
no.
Needs a couple of years to develop. And we're talking about a guy. It's crazy because he was up for the Heisman.
Yeah, but that just shows you that college does not equal NFL success.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about Johnny Manziel won the Heisman as a freshman. Where's Johnny Manziel right now?
Smoking something and drinking alcohol in the mornings.
I mean, I love middle school. Me loved Johnny Manziel. College me would have been a fanboy of Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, these days it's just
He had the best game against Alabama hungover. That is incredible. I think that is the most incredible athletic feat of all time. There are days when I have hangovers, I don't want to move. This guy played the best football game ever against the greatest college dynasty we've ever seen, and he was hungover.
Dude went. Well, he had. What's it called?
That dude probably stopped drinking at 4 a.m. Went to the facility probably at 9, still drunk, and beat Alabama no problem.
Maybe he just played well when he drank. Who knows? Sometimes it has that. Honestly, before I've drinking wine one time. I came home from drinking wine. Hopped on NCAA, and I was seeing reads I was a professional quarterback. So sometimes maybe drinking is the best way to.
I mean, we've had some pretty good Madden games in my old house when we were all, a little banged up on a Saturday night, coming home from the bars at, 2:30. It's let's run a Madden tournament. There
you go.
All right. I guess we'll crack another beer.
And there you go. And then once the night ends, the final score is 63-56.
Well, I can't even tell you what the final score was. But yeah, it definitely resembled a Big 12 score. There was no defense being played in that game.
No defense whatsoever.
Defense.
I love games like that. I know the Big 12 isn't like that anymore, but sort of old
when the Big 12 was like that, and you knew TCU, Texas Tech, which meant nothing, but this game was going to go over 100 points. Pure absolute cinema.
I love the meme reference there. But yeah. All right. So, fifth on my list is Kyle McCord. I really love him a lot. Just watching him play at Syracuse a few times. 5-star recruit from Ohio State, played there.
This is a guy who basically just got bullied out of Ohio State. He'd be an Ohio State
Yeah,
quarterback had he just beat Michigan once. That's the only
yeah.
reason he transferred was because
That's
he just could not
all he
beat
needs to
Michigan.
do. That's all he needs to do. He went 11-1 at Ohio State. He was good there. Well, not the greatest, but he went to Syracuse and he just turned his whole draft stock around when he was there. Over 40, almost 4,800 yards, 34 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions. Has a lightning quick release. He gets the ball out in like under 2.5 seconds. It's unbelievable. Has shown NFL caliber ball placement. His deep ball is really good, but he has a good arc and touch to it as well. And his pocket awareness is pretty good. Now, he is limited athletically, so same thing as Gabriel, not the most athletic in the world. He won't really strike fear, in the run game with his legs. He can't force throws because he's overly aggressive and everything. And there's times where he's kind of like me in NCAA. Like, if it's there, just hit the check down. I don't hit check downs. I throw the ball down the field. I don't care if you're double team. I trust my quarterback to get the ball. Now, that does lead to interceptions, and I've experienced that in the game itself. But we're talking real life NFL here, obviously. So he's just someone that needs to just learn how to take the easy, yards instead of just having to always throw the ball deep. But in a receiving room or playing with the receiver room that was filled with guys that honestly, none of them really stars, he did pretty good, I would say, during his time as an Orange man. So he's a classic pocket passer to me. If he's going to succeed early in his career, he just needs a system that's heavy on play action, rhythm throws, and that in a system where he can show off the deep ball because he can really throw it when needed to. So he's my fifth guy on the list. Number 4, Jackson Dart, formerly at USC, went to Ole Miss, played in the SEC. He was really good as well, especially last year. Major improvement from the years before. Had over 4,200 passing yards, 29 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Also had 3 touchdowns as a runner, along with 495 rushing yards. So all that shows he's not the dual threat quarterback, but he can be. He can create plays with his legs. So one of the highlights for me from last year was his performance against Arkansas. He had over 500 yards, 6 tutties against him too. That was really good.
He went off that game. But again, that's why I said the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. He had that game, but then look at when they lost. Look at those numbers. It's like, how is this the same quarterback?
Yeah, like he's a dude that has great touch. He's athletic. He has good pocket toughness as well. He's a quick release, just like McCord. And you mentioned up tempo. That was a very, I like when you mentioned that because he did thrive when things were up tempo. But at the same time,
it masked a lot of problems for him.
Because Ole Miss, their system was like a tempo-based one read thing, and that's he was able to succeed in that, but that didn't pay off when he had to play like top-tier competition, like at Georgia and at Kentucky, because their multiple schemed-based defenses caused a lot of trouble for him.
Yeah, and they'll cover that main read, so he now has now he has to go through progressions, and he's not. That offense is designed to do that.
And when in the first read isn't there, he's going to scramble. So we saw what he could do with his legs, but at the same time, he needs to just at times just learn how to be a good drop back passer and not just have to if the first read is not there, okay, I'm gonna scramble. No, there's a reason why there's not just one route on the field. There's other routes that receivers are running, and that's the one thing about him that concerns me. Actually. Yeah, so I have him at 4, honestly, because I think he just needs time to develop and just focus. Because if he can work on not staring down one read and looking everywhere else, I think he can be a pretty decent, successful starting quarterback.
Maybe like a Kirk Cousins-esque quarterback. You're not picking him first, but if you got him, you'd be like, I can make this work.
Yes, and when you do make it work, he'll be serviceable. He's not going to be like a top 10 quarterback by all means, but he'll be a serviceable guy.
He'll be a top 15 quarterback. He'll be like the Kirk Cousins, the Eli Mannings, the Matthew Staffords. Never this insane quarterback, but it's going to have those flashes of the top 10 years. Probably just will balance out. It's just your average quarterback. Build a good team around him. You're going to win a Super Bowl.
Exactly. So, yep. Honestly, just the whole struggles against top tier competition does scare me a lot, but I mean, he did play pretty well in the SEC. Yeah.
Same thing why did I have McCord? I'm like, yeah, you played at Syracuse. Who's Syracuse playing?
ACC competition,
Yeah.
not the
ACC
SEC
is definitely a step I know the SEC had a down year, but it's still like SEC, Big 10.
2 different levels.
Big 12, ACC.
There you go. So, all right, number 3. When you mentioned this guy at 7, I was just like, okay. But let me defend him real quick.
Yep.
I have Milroe at 3. I really, really, really love scrambling quarterbacks, and I mentioned that multiple times in the past, and you know that about me. He's a 6'1" guy, 220, 36 total touchdowns in 2024, 20 rushing touchdowns, 16 passing touchdowns. He had a 96.5 grade when it comes to deep ball throws. He was really good at just chucking the ball deep. Had 2 major performances last year. One of them against Georgia, where he threw for over 491 yards and 4 touchdowns. Had the LSU game where he had 15.4, I believe, yards per carry and 4 rushing touchdowns against them. So he was shredding them with his legs. And he ends his Alabama career with over 7,500 total yards and 78 total touchdowns, which are among the program's best. Look, I swear, if we draft this guy in the second round, I'm going to be ecstatic. If we don't get a quarterback first round for somehow any reason, I wouldn't mind Jalen Milroe.
You mean the Browns and Titans both take quarterbacks?
Yeah.
It's a very simple thing of how we don't get a quarterback in the first round. It's the 2 teams ahead of us pick them.
Yeah, or so we're stupid, and if Sanders is right there, we still don't take him, but I'm pretty sure we're not that dumb. But, if we do get Milroe some way, somehow in the second round, if needed to, I wouldn't be mad at it because he has elite speed, explosive acceleration, honestly. And when he runs with the football, he is a home run threat, which will help immensely with our run game, especially if Tyrone Tracy back there too. So Milroe and Tracy will just be an outstanding duo in the rushing game. When it comes to his arm, though, which matters the most, he has a cannon arm, has great velocity. This guy can hit 50-yard bombs like it's nothing. We saw that multiple times at Bama. He can take hits like a running back because of his build. He can maintain balance. He's not going to just, get hit hecka hard and just like fall down. Like he will take the contact and he'll keep on running. He has shown flashes of high level processing, which is good, and has a snappy release, which is good. That's cool with me. The only thing, like you mentioned earlier, right? It was the short and intermediate throws that were kind of a concern at Bama. He can be erratic with placement. He has small hands. Take it with that,
Kenny Pickett had small hands. Look where he is.
There you go. Yeah. Back up for the Eagles, who just won a championship.
Maybe that was a bad example.
Yeah. But
he won the Super Bowl.
During his time as a starter at Pittsburgh.
Look at what he did at Pittsburgh, man. They were like, you know what? We don't want this 20-something-year quarterback anymore. Let's go get Wilson.
So also with Milroe is that he can kind of, even with a clean pocket, he'll scramble prematurely when he could just stay in the pocket and just kind of look, kind of like Jackson Dart in a way. Just learn how to stay in the pocket and trust your line instead of having it. Because I know Milroe can scramble and just get yards with his legs. But there's times where throwing it, stay in the pocket is a better option. Overall, he's a physically gifted quarterback, has a great deep ball, just needs to work on those short intermediate throws, which honestly, it can be, it's pretty easy to sort of fix, I think. And I just think he needs to develop like Lamar Jackson did, because they're to me, they're two similar guys.
Yeah, I could see that. I saw a lot of comparisons to like Jalen Hurts, but I'm like, are you really comparing him to Jalen Hurts, or are you just comparing him to Jalen Hurts because they both played at Alabama and played similarly?
And that's a lazy comparison.
That's why I didn't include it, because like I did pro comparisons to each one, and like I saw like Jalen Hurts, I'm like, that's lazy to me. Like I don't like that.
Yeah, because you ask that person, it's like, because they played at Bama. It's like,
yeah. It's like it was like people like comparing like Lamar Jackson to Michael Vick. It's like, guys, like that's just because they're both running quarterbacks. That's why. Come on, we can pick something better here.
So overall, he just needs time. So in a way, I can compare him to Hurts that he needs time to develop, because Hurts needed about a year behind Wentz to fully develop. I
think he started his rookie season.
Hurts?
Yeah. Yeah.
He did? No,
he did. He got into the last 4 games of the year. They benched him for Sudfeld in the that Washington game. The only time I've ever rooted for Philadelphia ever in my life was the Washington game. Sunday Night Football. If the Eagles had won, we would have won the division.
All right, I forgot.
And they benched him for Nate Sudfeld.
The one Nate that I hate. that we all can hate.
I don't even. I bet that guy. I hope he's playing in like Canada or something, and plays for like the worst Canadian team. They're like in like the Northwest Territory or something, where it's just like cold.
He was last playing. Oh, he's from Modesto, California. That's new. Did not know that one.
Where you go to college?
He went to college at Indiana.
Really? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna guess some like low-ranked like Pac-12 school, like Wazoo or something.
He last played for the Lions and was cut.
Yeah.
In 2024, 31 years old. So he go.
Oh, he might be going to UFL. Is he like the UFL or something? The St. Louis Battlehawks?
Nah,
I have stumbled upon Battlehawks Twitter. I don't know how.
Yeah, me too. I've been seeing a lot of that recently.
Okay, awesome.
Nah, you ain't the only one. Maybe it's a sign.
Maybe you gotta be Battlehawks fans. This is now a Battlehawks podcast.
That's a weird team to root for too. Out of all the teams that we root for, because obviously you root for the East Coast teams.
I mean, there's no New York team.
True, huh? Maybe if we look into the roster one day, if you can find
which one of these teams had the most former Giants, and then like for me, the most former Notre Dame players.
And then we'll pick that one together.
Yeah.
So
like the team that's closest to me is the DC Defenders, and I'm not rooting for DC.
Ew.
Yeah. Yeah. And then after that, it's like the Birmingham Stallions in Alabama. Memphis Showboats is kind of cool. Michigan Panthers, ill. Arlington, ill. San Antonio, ill. Yeah. We might just be Battlehawk fans now.
Yeah, we might have to.
That's the only team I don't despise on the first.
We might have to go with that. Honestly, that's.
It's either them or the Memphis Showboats, because Showboats is such a cool name.
Yeah. Did they win a lot last year?
I have no idea. I didn't watch a single snap.
If they didn't, that'd be ironic. Because what are they showboating?
Exactly. Yeah. What are they showboating? So let's look it up. 2024 UFL standing. This is gonna be the worst team in the league, isn't it?
I feel like it is.
No.
Oh.
No, wait, no, I'm sorry. They went 2-8.
Oh, fudge. Yeah, they were not.
Oh my god, they had the worst point differential in the league.
Yeah,
it was minus 102.
Damn, put up points or something? Jesus.
They gave up 300 points.
Where's St. Louis?
St. Louis is in first.
Oh,
they went
maybe that's why, because they were defending champs and all the things.
That's definitely why we're on Battlehawks Twitter, because the weird people.
Oh, we had that one running back we signed.
Turbo.
No, wait, was it Turbo? No,
it was Turbo. Turbo was the UFL guy.
Oh, right. I
don't know if he's a Battlehawk, but that's the guy from UFL you're thinking of.
Yeah, because he came from Turbo. Miller was no. Miller was the Columbia guy. He had that weird college thing. Who was the? Oh my god, who was the? Oh, okay, this is bothering me. Before we move on to my 2-1, it's Sanders and Ward, but I'll give my short explanations why.
I kind of figured that's the 1-2 of everyone's draft.
Yeah. Oh, dang it. Okay, hold on. I got it. All right, if I go to archives, it's just, whatever. Try out my ad disabling on here. Right, pause on this site. Okay. Preseason was let's go with like August. May 2020. Oh, here we go. August. Running back room. Oh my god, what is his name? Dude, this is
sure it wasn't Turbo?
No, it wasn't Turbo. I swear it was some other dude. Because the Miller dude played at Columbia. Come on. Is it here? No. I swear it was some weird name. Okay, let me find it. Okay.
Jacob Sailors.
Thank you. That's the dude. How'd you find him? You just typed.
I looked up Giants running back UFL.
Oh, well, I could have done that. Jeez, Nate.
Then AI immediately helped me. Thank you, AI.
The power of artificial intelligence.
I think was it Gemini? Google Gemini? Is that what it's called? I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, Sailors came from the Battlehawks and everything and stuff like that. So he was with us for like a few weeks or so, and then just got cut. So, but yeah, maybe we'll be St. Louis fans. Who knows? Yeah, number 2, Shadeur Sanders on my list. 6'2", 215, 74.2 completion percentage, which stood out. That was the best in the nation. Enters his college career with over 1,300 passing yards, 121 touchdowns, and 23 interceptions. Elite processing speed, accuracy is good in the short and intermediate game. He can, under the rest, I should say, he has great poise, lightning quick release, ball security is really good, and he's a pretty decent leader. I know the whole O-line situation early last year was a bit of a concern, but that kind of got blown out of proportion. And he had that press conference with the lineman behind him and talked about how good the O-line played and all the things. So all is good, or all was good between the O-line and Shadeur Sanders, to say the least. And Sanders is mobile. He can be mobile when needed to, but he knows that he can be good in the pocket and trust his lineman and just chuck the ball with the best. Now, against complex defenses, kind of a struggle for him last year. We saw that against BYU. He can be overconfident in his arm talent at times. 52 sacks in 2024, not exactly because of his linemen, or I should say, not all the blame should be placed on the lineman, but rather just him holding on the ball for too long, or just needing to scramble instead of just waiting in the pocket. And he needs to work on recognizing blitz packages. But this guy is, honestly, I want him on the Giants so bad. He has a super high ceiling. He's a franchise guy, honestly. He just, if we can surround
right
him,
place.
Yes, he just, if he's in the right place with adequate protection early in his career, because he's a day one guy. He's going to be a day one starter.
Oh, without question.
He will, he's going to develop so much faster if there's just at least some protection. I think he'll be fine. And number 1 is Cam Ward. I think this guy's growth from the FCS to now has been absolutely phenomenal. He has this arm elasticity that is just weird, but it's super cool to watch. He's he can whip it, and I mean his ball. Oh my god, his ball speed is freaking fast. He can extend plays, very good at that. Great processing speed, has amazing accuracy. He can what's it called? He can run with his legs. He's explosive, but he has great pocket discipline, which is really good compared to the guys that we discussed earlier, like a Milroe and a McCord and stuff like that. He's has great pocket discipline, and he is explosive with his legs. And his mental processing speed as well is really good. The only thing for me is maybe he relies too much on his arm talent. His ball security was a bit of a question mark last year. Had 8 fumbles, despite having kind of low turnover numbers. He did have 8 fumbles, and that's kind of concerning there. And the one thing that a lot of teams will ask him about is the whole bowl game situation. After 190 yards and 3 touchdowns in the bowl game, he sat out the second half. And that was a bit of a weird one, to say the least. So, and he
play the whole game or don't play.
Yeah, exactly. You could have just let other guys play, but he came out for a half, and that was pretty much it. And the whole nonchalant thing, will that hurt him in the NFL? I love the nonchalantness, but I just feel like that might hurt a little bit.
I think it depends on the team he goes to and the fan base. Like, I know Giants fans that hated Eli Manning's nonchalantness. When Eli used to run off the field after an interception and just like not care. Like my cousin would go ballistic. He's like, "Can you just show you care a little bit?"
Yeah, and Ward is kind of the same way, especially like on the field, when he's like, there's times where he just stands still and just waits and then just chucks it with his arm talent. And that can help, but at the same time, and it might hurt him at times. That's something that just needs to be seen on the field. But out of all the quarterbacks in this draft, he's a day one guy, obviously, day one starter, no matter what. Franchise guy, to say the least. He's going to be a star. If he can just work on the little things, out of all the quarterbacks, he's the best one. And I just think he'll be a franchise guy for years to come. So, but yes, to me, it's Ward, Sanders, Milroe, Dart, McCord, Gabriel. And for you, it was Ward,
Sanders,
Shadeur,
Dart, yours, Leonard.
Cool beans. All righty. And that's our quarterback rankings for this year's draft. Good start. 2 differing lists, but you know, you had great reasons for yours.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully mine were sort of convincing. I
Oh
know
no,
the
yeah, no,
Millwall
no,
thing
no, no.
at
You
third.
definitely had it. You definitely were convincing with it. It made sense.
Cool beans. Yeah. Oh, one more thing about Cam Ward. That 25-point comeback against Cal.
Yes.
He knows how to play from behind. Now, did it hurt me? Yes, because I was watching that game. I'm a Cal fan, so it hurt.
Did it gut me? Of course it did, but it was impressive.
It was impressive.
I'm not gonna say it wasn't depressing.
We were whooping them too. I was like, oh my God, we're gonna beat Miami after being on College Game Day. It's gonna be the best college football day of my life. And then they
Nope.
came all the way back, and I was just
So now you
like,
know how Falcons fans feel.
yeah, that's you know, that's 223.
Shout out, was it Morgan? Is
Yeah,
not.
Stacey Morgan, the
Yes.
Falcons fan.
Shout out.
Man, I wonder how he still feels. I'm sorry. Obviously, I feel like it still hurts.
You
him,
never ever get over that game because the Falcons had won the Super Bowl at halftime.
Yeah, I don't think you ever do. Damn, Tom Brady.
I at least saw a video where it's like, what if the Falcons had just need and they win the game? If the Falcons had just need every single play during the second half, they would have won the game.
That's true. If they just ran the ball, shoot the clock,
exactly,
they would have won it. But no, they messed up, and Brady came all the way back.
Mm-hmm.
So, real quick with the NBA, Luka's first revenge game had 2.5 million people watching.
That picture was insane. Hang that in the Louvre.
Dude, yes. And I assume you're referring to the picture with Harrison in the background. Yeah.
When Nico Harrison right there, and it's Luka just kind of
Lucas.
You can't see Luka's head, but you know he's looking at him.
He's looking, yeah. He's like, this is what you traded away, you son of a gun. Lakers fans are complaining. Luka has done an outstanding job, you know, kind of getting into the fan base. On the day of the revenge game, he and Jordan Brand combined workforces, I should say, to offer free parking to fans attending the game. So that was pretty cool. I know, it was super cool.
But that's what Luka has to do. He has to, like, you know, kind of like schmooze and like, I'm your franchise guy. I need to like be that. Like, I know, like, I'm still in LeBron's shadow right now, but LeBron's not going to be here forever, and then it's my team.
Yeah, exactly. And Luka he's been good. It's been hard for him for sure. Obviously, when you go from somewhere that you thought was gonna be a home forever, and trade it unexpectedly.
Oh yeah,
there's gonna be times like he mentioned it. You know, after the game, like it was he just wanted to sleep. He wasn't able. He was struggling to sleep. You know, and obviously I can see why. This is his former team he was playing, but he went off 19.
And there was no rumors about it too. It just came out of nowhere, like
out of the blue.
You know, when was he traded? What, like February 2nd?
I believe it was like early February. Yeah.
So let's just say for the sake of argument, February 3rd he got traded. February 2nd, he's sitting in his house like, I'm gonna stay here for the next 15 years. There's not a thought in his mind that he's going anywhere. And then 12 hours later, agent on the phone, hey, pack up, you're going to LA.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Like, you know, he just bought a home too, and that's like the most
like, it's not like thing. To go back to baseball, it's not like when the Nationals traded Juan Soto to the Padres. There were rumors for weeks that Soto was getting moved. So, like, he could mentally prepare himself when the news happened. Luka didn't have that time to mentally prepare himself. He was just kind of blindsided.
Not at all, yeah. It's still shocking to me still that we even have him.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, and there's more details on that. Anthony Davis spoke the other day about it, you know, giving his first thoughts after the trade. And the first thing he did, actually, according to reports, was call LeBron immediately after the trade was announced. And LeBron couldn't believe it. AD couldn't believe it. You know, there's a tribute to for Davis actually during that game a few days ago. Look, I miss AD. I do. I think he was, you know, he was a key part to us winning the championship in 2020. He's a great defensive guy. When healthy, he's dominant offensively too, but at the same time,
I think we've given Anthony Davis a bad rap over the past couple weeks.
I will say the injuries don't help. Obviously,
injuries do not help at all, and that doesn't help. But when he's on the court, he's still a really good player, and he's going to be for the next 3 years. He's going to be a really good player still.
Yeah, when healthy, he is one of the best big men in the league.
Yeah.
He can play the 4, the 5, whatever you want him to play. He can shoot for the 3 a little bit, but he's just dominant in the paint. He can get there and just
that's his bread and butter.
Good lob threat, good mid-range game as well, and defensively, obviously one of the best defensive guys in the NBA.
Yeah.
So,
but at the end of the day, like, do you want Anthony Davis? Do you want Luka Doncic? It's like, sorry.
A 32-year-old or 25-year-old for a 32-year-old, I'm taking
Yeah.
a 25-year-old, which is Luka. So
Exactly.
great game for him. Lakers won that game against the Mavs. I think they'll be headed back to Dallas in, I believe, April. So that's going to be the game that we focus on, because it's one thing to beat your former team when you're at home. It's another thing. It's another thing to go
cannot
back.
wait for that homecoming because I'm so interested to see what the Mavericks organization does. How do they welcome him back?
I'm sure it's going to be a tribute, and the fans will be, cheering for him. But when they see Luka Harrison out
when does stuff get turned on Nico and the ownership group?
There you go.
It's coming. I think if you're a Mavericks fan, you circle that date of this is when we make our statement.
That's where we kind of just riot and
right, yeah. Because you've done the funeral, you've done like the protesting and all that stuff, but like if there's gonna be a moment where you do something, it's when he returns. That's why I think this thing gets turned up again.
Yeah. Plus, I think by then, Davis, Lively, and all the Mavs guys are going to be healthy. Yeah. So that's going to be like the one game that will kind of be the telling truth as to how Mavs fans truly. Because if the Mavs win, they'll be like, okay, Luka's gone, but at least we can. But if the Mavs lose that game, and Luka goes off for like 40, 15, and 10. That's when things are going to be.
Doing that at home, like, it's going to be hard.
It's going to be hard.
Especially if that game's a blowout and the fans are like, enough of this. We're done.
They see Nico Harrison walking off.
If Nico Harrison's smart, he does not go to that game. He stays home.
Stay at home or be in a suite somewhere.
Don't even be in a suite. Don't even be in the building.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. To be safe. Yeah, you're right.
Be safe. Don't even be in that building.
Be in your office, to say the least.
Yeah. I'm shocked. He still goes to the building. Stop going.
There you go. But yeah, that's our little NBA news of the day.
Did you see the LeBron story about the cookies?
Cookies.
Yeah, I forgot who it was. I think it was Wade. He was on a podcast and he was talking about Pat Riley and how he would micromanage the Heat during that dynasty run. And LeBron James was apparently a very big fan of chocolate chip cookies. And they were on the private jet. And LeBron goes, "Where are my cookies?" And Pat Riley was like, "No more cookies for you." And then they said that moment was when LeBron decided he was going back to Cleveland.
No, because imagine losing.
It is such a funny clip, and I there's obviously way more factors than just that. But the fact that LeBron was like, you know what, I'm gonna be Heat for life, and they won't give him Entenmann's cookies is the reason why he wasn't going back.
Come on, man.
It's such a funny thing to think about,
bro.
Bro, if he was a Nick, I'm like, that man could eat however many cookies he wants to. As long as he's still putting up triple doubles, we're good.
As long as he's my star, I don't care. He's my guy.
Juan Soto can eat whole boxes of Oreos before games if he wants to. I don't care. Just hit home runs.
He's hitting dingers, man. Dingers, bringing in runs, all the things.
As long as he's putting up good numbers like they pay for it, do whatever the hell you feel like. Same thing with Luka. They were upset with Luka for drinking beer. I don't know. It's working.
Yeah, drinking beer, smoking hookah. What's wrong with that? He's still putting up freaking 30, 15, 10, whatever the case may be.
And they were mad at him for drinking during the Western Conference Championship party. That's when you're supposed to do that.
They took the drink away from him, and he was weird and stuff or he was shocked when the guy took the drink away from him.
Yeah, it's it's a party. We're dumping champagne on each other.
That's what we're supposed to do. Drink. Yeah, massive weird, man. But there's not my
something else in that story.
I know.
Something else that we'll never know, or we'll know in 30 years when everyone's dead. They're
just finding excuses at this point.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, last thing, real quick before we go.
We got time. We can keep going.
Okay. Abdul Carter, after further scans on his right foot, surgery will not be advisable for him, so he'll be working out the pro day and not participate in the combine, though. So I think originally he wasn't going to be at the combine anyway because of his shoulder, but now this right foot injury is a big concern as well. But according to doctors, like I mentioned, he will not be getting surgery. It will be at his pro day at Penn State on March 28th. So
my buddy texted me this morning and goes, "Do you think he's faking it to try to fall in the draft?"
I think
I'm like he's talked a lot about going to the Eagles.
It's weird because he talked about his shoulder first.
Yeah.
And then this right foot comes out of nowhere. Unless I'm missing something. But it's just
no, it was nowhere. Because I remember waking up this morning and it had 5 notifications on my phone. It was all about the Carter injury. I'm like, when did this happen?
Yeah. He can try his best, but he's not falling to 32.
No.
to the Eagles. No, sir. But someone's going to take him.
Yeah.
So he, Gianti, Shadeur Sanders, and Travis Hunter will not be working out at the combine and will participate at their respective pro days. Sanders specifically will be doing interviews as well as Hunter as well. And Gianti, I believe, too, will be doing interviews. But other than that, no workouts.
Which sucks. I would love to see Gianti run the 40.
I give him like 4. I think he's that fast. I give him like 4.4.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, 4.45 or 4.5 something.
I don't know. I just like the I wish Dave could be like, you're not working out, but like, do you mind just running the 40 just to have it as a trivia question one day?
Yeah, what are you gonna do, Terry?
It's running a 40. You can mail it in.
Yeah, what are you gonna do, Terry Hammy? Well,
that one guy did it.
Well, if you stretch, you know.
Someone did Terry Hammy running the 40 one time. I forgot who it was. It was a receiver. Someone did tear the hamstring running it.
Was it Ross?
No, I don't think it was Ross.
It was a fast dude, though, right?
It was a fast guy, yeah, and he tore his hammy. I was watching the video last night, like the fastest players at each position. And it was like, this guy tore his hamstring, but he ran really fast.
Let's see, 40-yard dash. Worthy? No,
it wasn't Worthy. That would have popped. That would have came out because he broke the record.
Yeah, true. I don't know. We'll look it up one day. But yes. So Gianti. Yeah. So it's Gianti met with the Giants. Carter met with the Giants.
Cody Schrader pulled his hamstring running the 40. A running back from Missouri ran a 4.61 and popped.
And he tore a hammy.
He tore a hammy.
Hey, he didn't even stretch.
I would
have 4.6.
I would have bumped him down so many draft points for that. Like, bro, you tore your hamstring and you got a crap time.
If you tore your hamstring like a 4.4, like okay, but 4.6. And for those of you who don't know, 4.4 and 4.6 are very two different times.
Yeah.
So
especially for a running back.
Yeah, that's two different levels, I should say. But
that's like first round pick and McDonald's.
There you go. But yeah, so Sanders will be meeting with the Giants formally. Gianti will be meeting with the Giants. Carter will be meeting with the Giants. It's safe to say we're one of the top topics, obviously, because we don't have a quarterback.
Quarterback at a top 3 pick. We're gonna be popular.
Yeah, Joe Shane was doing his little combine interview as always. I believe someone mentioned how his son, or about the whole clip from his son last year.
Of all the clips in that show, that's the stupidest one.
I know, and they always bring it up. And Joe Shane was kind of play it off, and I saw some hate on Twitter, and I was just like, bro, here we go again. That's like they'll always hate him for it, but I don't think they understand still. Like he could not have gotten Daniels.
He couldn't do that.
Exactly. So, I know we're doing our due diligence if interviewing these top guys like a Carter and a Gianti and everything like that, but let's be honest, if we draft any of them, I'm gonna be shocked. Especially at 3.
I think Gianti, I'd be shocked. If we draft Gianti at 3, I'm going to throw something.
Saquon Barkley all over again.
It's Saquon Barkley all over again. Carter at 3, I could see as a possibility. I really think the Giants should do due diligence because their plan is to take a quarterback, but if those first 2 guys are gone, they're going with Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
They need their backup plan because it's a very real possibility that their quarterback is not sitting there at 3.
I just don't know how I feel about getting Hunter if we do draft him. I think I just need to see it first and then process everything before I say anything about it. Because I can tell myself right now, I'm happy if we get I'm super happy if we get Sanders. I'm be happy if we get Cam Ward. I'm disappointed if we get Gianti. I'm disappointed if we trade down.
Well, it depends on if Gianti falls to if we trade back and we pick up Gianti in like the late teens, I'm ecstatic. All right, that works perfectly.
Yeah. Him and Tracy will be outstanding, but no quarterback, obviously.
But that's when, you hopefully the Giants brought in a veteran at that point. So it's just like, all right, we'll roll with, Justin Fields this year and figure it out.
Yeah. It's weird because I love Travis Hunter, but I just don't know how I feel yet if he somehow ends up. I just don't know.
You can't imagine him in a Giants uniform.
I just can't. He just doesn't. I love him. He's gonna be really good. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
I just need to see him Maybe some pro day workouts will help my opinion a little bit. Maybe if we do end up getting him, I'll need to kind of process everything, like I said. But he's the one guy, and it's weird how I feel about him because I really do love him as a player and a prospect. But if we get him, I just don't know how. I don't know. I just need to see it first to believe it until.
I get you. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
The Giants have, with the salary cap increase, now have $48.09 million to spend this offseason.
They got to restructure a few contracts too.
We'll get it up a little bit more. So we'll see what Joe Shane decides.
I think it's what Dexter, Burns, and Thomas are the most likely guys to get restructured.
I think Thomas got restructured not too long ago, Burns probably will.
I know Burns definitely is going to get restructured. And I think Lawrence will probably get restructured.
I believe so. Yes. Okay. I feel like I heard Thomas.
And there's one other guy too that's got like a medium contract. Is it maybe Okereke? I think maybe he's going to get a restructuring.
Possibly. Let's get the cap room increased more a little bit. We can cross off one name off the list that we probably won't get, and that is Trey Smith, who the Chiefs will be placing their franchise tag on. So that's one name we won't be getting.
That was a big guy I wanted.
But I really loved him, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, he will be franchise tagged by the Kansas City Chiefs. So
it makes sense.
Yeah. Alrighty. That will do it. But before we go, a little preview of what to expect in our next few episodes. So MLB season is starting quite soon. The regular season, to be exact. I know. Shoot. So we'll be doing this. Is the first show we'll be doing this. Our MLB division previews. So on Tuesday, we'll be doing the AL and NL West, and then the Tuesday after that, we'll be doing our AL and NL Central. And then followed by the Tuesday after that, we'll be doing the AL and NL East. And that's when Brian's going to go absolutely ballistic and very excited for the yay. So that's going to be our schedule for Tuesdays, for the next 3 Tuesdays, I should say. Next few Thursdays, though. So next Thursday is going to be running backs, and the Thursday after that's going to be receivers. And then we'll do tight ends separately. And then the Thursday after that will be tight ends. So it's going to be very preview focused, I would say.
Yeah, it's preview time. Nothing's really going on.
Exactly. So we'll be doing that for the next 3 weeks. So we'll let you guys know what's going on. So exciting times for baseball fans as we are approaching the regular season. Spring training has started, obviously, seeing guys get it warmed up and accustomed back on the field. The A's, for me, recently, they've won a game, they've lost, and they've tied. So
Did you see the Mets Twitter account yesterday?
I did not.
So the Mets didn't have a game on TV, so they upped the social media team updated fans of the score by drawing stick figures. They drew a stick figure like Pete Alonso 2-run home run, and then did a little box score up in the corner. They did the same thing today with Seinfeld. They did Seinfeld gifts to show you what the score was.
I gotta find this.
Shout out to the social media team. They're killing it in spring training.
Look at them, creative as heck. That's what
I was so confused when I saw it. I'm like, what is going on? Did a child write this? And I'm like, oh no, this is the game. This is how they're updating the game.
I can't watch the game. I should follow on Twitter. That's creativity right there.
That's the creativity. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do next. I don't know what the Mets' next road game is, but it's gonna be funny.
Family Guy. No, I don't know. We'll see.
Seinfeld's funny. I don't know.
I'm dreaming.
We'll see what they do.
I'm just dreaming, but
Cheers.
Without doing
something, I don't know.
Maybe we'll see. Friends?
No, I think Friends. Friends is New York. They're gonna do a New York show. Friends.
There you go.
Yeah, that's like the Seinfeld. Friends. Yeah, that makes sense. Gotcha. Other than New York, isn't How I Met Your Mother in New York? I don't know.
I don't watch that show.
I haven't seen that show. It's the one show that falls in the exact type of show I like. I just never saw. Makes no sense.
Yeah. So, but all right, that's gonna do it. Episode 63. Like I said, we'll be back to the 2 episode a week scheduled next week with our MLB previews and the continuation of our NFL draft previews, and we will go from there. But for now, you can follow us on social media, Brian at BrianPG1016. Plus, you can also look at his articles that he releases pretty much every other day at BillyUpSports.com. Let's be honest. I'll be editing them. I always see your name in the editing list.
No, I counted between the 3 sites I write for. I wrote 25 articles this month.
Wow. Damn. That's a lot. Holy
yeah.
cow.
I'm like, oh, okay. I'm gonna take a day off.
just take a day off or two. You know, you do a lot, my guy. But it's great content. Y'all can check it out there at BellyUpSports.com. You can follow me at Nathan_124, and then our podcast page at Third and 10 Pod on Instagram, X/Twitter, and YouTube, and TikTok as well. We appreciate you guys' support on TikTok. We're getting a lot of comments recently, not a lot of comments, but more comments than usual, I should say, on our videos. It's always fun to respond to you guys. So we appreciate you guys so much for your support and your likes and the views and all the things on there as well. So next Tuesday, AL West, NL West. I know where I have the A's at, and I don't even have to look at the win totals. I know exactly where I'm putting them. But we'll see. For Brian, I'm Nate. Thank you guys so much as always, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday for MLB stuff.